This is for me the best Grenache in South Africa at the moment. Adi Badenhorst's Grenache. This is the oldest Grenache vineyard that we know of in South Africa. It's even older than me. It's about 70 years old, 65, 70 years old. And it's still producing a very good crop. The whole idea with the Old Vine Project in South Africa is to not only identify the old vineyards, but to actually manage them and cultivate and preserve them, so to get them to a state where they actually still produce a decent crop, and to make obviously very good wines from them. But it's no use if an old vine yields too low and is not sustainable. So the whole idea is to get them to be sustainable, and this has been a real success story. Adi's been working really hard. He's managing pruning and working this vineyard himself.
What does he do to resuscitate an old vineyard like this?
Resuscitation of old vineyards is we don't think we have another 5 hours. But it's the way that you prune it mainly, the way that you feed it. You have to fertilize it, but in a certain way, and never work it too hard. You always work on an old vine. I always try and say to the farmers, work on an old vine with a light touch, because if you prune it too hard, if you cut into the old wood, the vine just dies back, it reacts and it just dies back. So prune it lightly and sucker it very lightly, and this really has been one of the success stories of the Old Vineyard Project. This is still the old clone of Grenache, clone 70. But like I said about clones, this is almost, old vines lose their clonal status. They become expressive of the soil and the landscape, and not of the clone. They completely lose their clonal status. This used to be clone 70, but now it's clone Colmoesfontein, which is this area.
And are you doing Massal selection from these vines?
Yes, we actually started with a project last year with Viticec, which is one of our local nurseries. We've identified 10, 12 of the oldest vineyards in South Africa that still produces a decent crop and that is known to be making a good wine, and doing Massal selection from there, and now propagating them and then planting from there. But we have been importing new clones of Grenache into South Africa. There's 2 new ones, and the Grenache Perluda, which is a mutation of Grenache that you found in the south of France and in Priorat, which is has a white underleaf. So that's the Grenache Perluda and 513 and 106. So 3 new clones of Grenache that we have been importing to South Africa. There's not a lot of Grenache in South Africa. There's a lot now being planted, but there are some old vines in here at Colmoesfontein, and in the Pekiniers Kloof there's some very good old Grenache, which is mainly made by Eben Sadi and Neil Ellis and Boland Coetzee. That's it.